Hello, everybody. Part 2 of the perk reviews that I'm doing. Taking off 5 seconds after part 1, probably for you guys too, because you're just going to the next video. We finished last time on Taunt on the 3rd row, and now we're going on to weapon specs. Starting with Mace Spec. Mace Spec is a great ability for early game and kind of, I think, falls off. The pole mace I haven't used. I don't. If I want a back rank thing, I want a bill hook or like a legendary pike. Or I think if I didn't want one of those, I would probably want a pole hammer or a long axe. I don't think I want the pole mace. Really, I think the pole mace beats like the speed up, and that's about it. So I don't care about that. Having a 100% chance to stun though is amazing. I just want to say now, the weapon. I weapon spec everybody. Essentially, I don't think I have a single character who's not weapon spec because 25% fatigue. You always attack. You attack in this game, so 25% less fatigue when you do that is great. The stun chance is great. You can build stun bots who just have like really high aim and just go pew 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 and stun people. This is good in the early game. I think another thing for that 47 attack bro with no stars is you give him mace mastery, because like, yeah, he can't hit anything, and you might want to give him a spear. But if he's stun botting, then that could also be useful. Maybe some early game bros could take mace mastery, because you're saving yourself armor and HP. I always have a couple of mace spec bros in the early game, so I could stun people and farm them for armor. That's great. Flail mastery. It's okay. Flails are good early game, so you're getting the fatigue bonus. Ignore the bonus of shields is good early game, and then Thresh, I think that's the two-handed flail move, like the AoE one gets 5% chance to hit. I don't use two-handed flails. Maybe I should. I don't know. I'm not a big flail guy. A lot of people tell me flails are like good, like you quick hands flail with headhunter. I tried that on a guy who wasn't built for it, and I didn't like it. So that's my opinion right now. But in all seriousness, I'm not really into flails. I think there's better damage dealers out there. So I don't really care about flail mastery for anything beyond the early game. Hammer mastery is good for two-handed hammers. I don't really build one-handed hammer builds. The pole hammer thing is good if you like using pole hammers. Hammers are made to destroy armor. So hammer mastery is good because you're min-maxing destroying armor. Like that, you can't really go wrong with this because the hammer does not do health damage. The one-handed hammer anyway. The two-handed hammer does a shit ton of everything. But you do it to destroy armor. So doing more of that means it's just better. Alright, axe mastery. Split shield. Split shield is good for nomads, I've found so far. Nomads have dodge and a fucking shield. So getting rid of the shield means it's really good. I like the long axe is a very good early game weapon. Like I've said before, I think bill hooks are better late game. I don't use round swing because I'm usually gonna hit an enemy hit an ally when I do that. But axe spec is good. And like I said, all these weapon specs are fine just because you're always weapon specking. Cleaver mastery is great. Doubling bleeds is okay, but disarm not having a penalty to hit is why you would use this on a whip character. It's great for that reason. Sword mastery. I don't use swords often. Riposte not having a penalty to hit. If you build like one of those riposte like meme guys with like 80 defense or something and just like ripostes into everything, this is a great perk. Split and swing getting hit chance is actually good. The two-handed swords AoE attack, that's great. Gash, I haven't used gash attack, so I can't comment on that. But I'm sure that's good. You're again min-maxing something on a skill that already has a lower threshold to inflict injuries. That's okay. I don't use dagger spec. I haven't used a Katal dagger yet. I haven't played much with the Southern to really count on that. I've seen some people use dagger spec. I saw a guy go ghost hunting with the daggers. I didn't. It was useful, but like that's such a niche character. I would never use dagger mastery, fucking ever. Puncture. No, you don't even get puncture plus hit chance. No, that's not useful. Polearm mastery is a fucking godly skill. I love polearm mastery. Being able to move forward one on, like, let's say this is a field, like plains. Move forward one, attack, move back 1. Now that's an orc attack. So what you can do is you can cycle into the same hex, have guy 1 move into the hex, attack, and move out, and guy 2 moves into that same hex, attack, and moves out. But in orc fights, orc warriors will jump through your front line to hit your back line. But if you move forward, attack, and move out, there's actually no back line because there's a gap in between your front line and then those polearm users. So then the orcs won't charge through, which is already good because that's when orc fights go to shit, is when your back line with really bad range, bad melee defense, 4 melee defense, this guy's fucked. 60 HP, he's fucked if an orc gets on him. This guy, maybe not. This guy, probably not. This dude, definitely not. But this guy with 4, this guy with 7, like, they're screwed. But being able to not actually be in a position to get pushed through is great. And also, if you do couple this with Pathfinder, you can do that on any terrain, except for swamp. But still, you can move and attack on swamps, which is also just amazing. And the polearms not having their penalty, their adjacent penalty, is also great. Now on these characters, I actually fatigue out a lot. I have a turn where I can attack with you can shoot with a crossbow, quick hands, and hit 2 times with berserk and a kill. So that's like 24 fatigue in a turn, or something. 12, yeah, 24, and then 28. So I'm building up 28 fatigue in a turn with polearm mastery. So otherwise, I'd be building up so much fatigue. These guys only have like 60. So polearm mastery is an amazing skill. Spear mastery is shit. Honestly, Speedham and Warfork are just bad beyond early game. I did have a guy, he was a mammoth. He tried to be anyway. And he had spear spec because he had no aim. And he was able to spear wall like beyond, but how often do you spear wall? You spear wall against zombies, you spear wall against Notcher reserves, you spear wall against orcs to herd them into better positions. That's about it. Like, and the orcs don't give a shit. They're gonna run into your spear wall eventually. You're gonna fail. Like, okay, here's my problem with spear wall. Nobody with good aim uses a goddamn spear. So you don't, and anyone who uses spears has bad aim, which means the spear wall is gonna fail. So this fucking sucks. Crossbow mastery, it's good. You're min-maxing crossbows, additional damage inflicted and less skills. Great. I have not used handguns, but the ability to actually reload in your turn sounds just phenomenal. It sounds necessary. Bow mastery is great. You get more aim. That's just fantastic. This is essential to any archer character. Throwing spec, I have not used throwing weapons. I'll be honest with you. I hear they are great against Barbarian Chosen, but my main campaign is pre-DLC, so I cannot fight Barbarian Chosen, which means I have not used this. I hear it's great against Ancient Undead. I just don't bring archers to Ancient Undead, so I have not used this for the throwing bow hybrids. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying I don't know. I will want to get to this later, but I can't comment. All right, next up we have footwork. A lot of people tell me to bring footwork on an archer, and I kind of believe them, kind of don't. If I had to drop it from the archer, I'd drop fast adaptation. I don't want to that or maybe steel brow, but I don't think I want to drop steel brow. And again, this is not on a throwing archer hybrid. I just don't think footwork is necessary. I rarely find that I need to use footwork. And I rarely find that I need to use footwork. I really find that I have a dog, use the dog, have some guy with rotate, and then need to use footwork. I had that recently, but I lived anyway. So, I was lucky, but I did live. I had like a fallen hero or a zombie or something on high ground against my archer who tried to go kill a necro. Ended badly, but I didn't die. I didn't need footwork there. And that was like the textbook example of when I needed footwork, and I didn't need it. I lived anyway. So I don't think footwork is really that useful. It's probably also useful. I have it on this Bannerman here. I didn't use it that much. I prefer just having rotate. I'd rather have rotate than footwork. Honestly, it's more annoying on goblins than it is good on my heroes, I think. But maybe I'm just not using it right. I don't know. Underdog is an essential perk. Just essential perk to anyone on the front line. It's great. It helps versus zombies, particularly because they all have backstabber. It helps. It's obviously amazing for guys who you just throw into the nearest hole in the enemy line and just soak up hits. You can't not have underdog on a frontline character. Hands down. Lone Wolf. I don't like Lone Wolf because who the hell gets Lone Wolf? I don't. The only guy who I was considering Lone Wolf on was the Necro fucker, but the Necro fucker would only use it in fights with Necros when he's going after the Necro. He already so he gets melee skill, and which doesn't help kill Necros. He gets range skill, but he already has 103 aim against the Necro, so he's gonna kill him anyway. He has where is it? Melee defense. He's not getting hit because he has Pathfinder and goes away from them. He has range defense. It's a zombie fight. And resolve, he has the Geist necklace, and he has 54 resolve. So he's not gonna it doesn't get me anything. Otherwise, I'm always within 3 tiles of people, so I don't care about Lone Wolf. Some people like throwing a sacrifice mammoth up in the Black Monolith fight to just tank the north side, and you could use Lone Wolf then. But I'm not building that. I'm not building a guy for one fight. That's dumb. All right. Next up is Overwhelm. The only people that could ever possibly use Overwhelm are archers, because everybody else, enemies have such much higher initiative than you. At least at the start, maybe you beat Orc Warriors and you beat Ancient Undead and Zombies, but once you start getting fatigued out, you don't even do that. So the only people who can do this is archers, and I don't know what I would replace on archers here. I like this archer build I have right here. Again, maybe fast adaptation, but I prefer that to Overwhelm. A lot of times I'm killing archers, and I'm killing them too. Like Brigand Marksmen are dying. I'm killing people. I'm not shooting an Orc Warrior, so I don't really care about overwhelming them. I don't find Overwhelm to be that useful. Reach advantage is I haven't found that. I feel like I should like this perk, but I don't. What's happening again is I don't use a lot of AoEs. I don't have any. I have a hammer user. He would benefit from reach advantage, I would think, on Shatter. I don't have anyone sword spec, so I have this famed greatsword lying around that I don't use. But you don't AoE on great axes because the round swing will hit an ally. You can't AoE on a mace. You can AoE on a flail, but you won't for the same reason as the axe. And I guess you could AoE on like a war scythe. That could be something. Or a pole sword. I think it's the pole sword. It's like the pole arm with a sword that has the same AoE as a war scythe. I don't think I have one. Yep. So I don't find it to be that useful. Honestly. What I did, okay, I heard someone say use a two-handed spear and like a speedum, and you spear wall and you get reach advantage, and that is pretty cool. But again, you don't use fucking spears on people with good aim, so I don't really like that much. I feel like I should, but I don't. All right, Berserk is another. I think Berserk is an essential skill on frontline characters. For people with 4 AP attacks, like this duelist, he gets another attack, a third attack when he on his turn if he gets a kill. That alone is amazing. Or he gets to move two. Or he gets to move 2, kill, and move another 2. So he gets to move 4 and attack. That is great. On two-handers, you get to smack, kill, and smack again. Or you get to smack, kill, and move 3. On the archers, you get another attack. On these dudes, you can shoot a crossbow, reload, shoot a crossbow again. Or you can stab, move, and stab with a polearm polearm spec. There's so much flexibility Berserk gives you that I can never see myself not taking Berserk on a character. Headhunter recently got changed. I kind of like it. I like it most on archers, I find, because archers are the ones that are consistently hitting people with no headgear, and I don't really care about it on front lines. You can't guarantee it. If I could redo this axe duelist, I would drop gifted and take headhunter. Use one-handed axes to additional 50% damage on a hit to the head with chop. So if you could guarantee head hits, that would mean just so much more damage. I would do it on axe duelists, definitely. Now, nimble. Nimble's good on archers. This is great gear right here. I know it's legendary gear, but I'm at 200, 163. that's really good, and I'm still getting nimble. So this is amazing. I love nimble on archers because archers need the fatigue. And they're not getting hit enough to where they can really wear, even if it's like I don't think I might have it still. Oh, it's like the hardened leather armor. It's like 123 minus 8, like durability fatigue. That's great. Even just 95 leather lamellar, and then a sallet helmet. That's okay. And that's nimble gear right there. People say nimble on a front line. I'm trying it, but I don't understand how you do nimble on a front line. Because once you lose your armor, you're just taking full health damage anyway, and you're fucked. I don't understand how to do a nimble front line. I haven't done it much, so I'm not an expert, but I think Battleforged is the frontline way to go. Like I've seen like people do numbers like, oh, Battleforged doesn't help you much more than Nimble, and Nimble really gives you more hits, but like taking 64% of damage from attacks, I understand I'm in legendary armor, but alright. Here we go. 300, 320, I get 67. 280, 290, I'm in 80. Oh wait, that's a fucking 109 helmet. Alright, let's go 140. What's that even do? 78. Like, it's very useful to have, Battleforged. I even bring it on these dudes with their fucking, I mean, this is, again, legendary gear, but, like, they're taking 77% of damage from the way armor pen works and whatever. Battleforged is actually very useful. I just love Battleforged. It keeps me alive. That's what it does. It keeps me alive in ways that Nimble doesn't, because I need to have shit armor to have Nimble work. Or I need to have this very special legendary gear, 200, and then fucking like a wolf helm. The odds that I find this on more than 3 dudes in a campaign, it's fine on 3 is already hard enough. But it's just not good enough. So, rambling over, I like Battleforged. On to the final row, Indomitable. That is a great skill. It recently got nerfed to 5, so a lot of people are upsetty about that. Very upsetty. But I still think it works. It works on mammoths. They can shield wall Indomitable. I like it on two-handers. I kept it on two-handers. I didn't build this guy with it because I knew it was going to be nerfed soon. And I kind of regret that. I think it's really good because you can move 2 with a two-hander and Indomitable. I would do this against orcs. That is when I like this. And my frontline in orc fights is two-handers. I have this dude with the orc necklace, so he doesn't need it. I throw him into orc young and he doesn't get stunned. This guy, I don't think this build here can sacrifice a perk for Indomitable. You could argue Colossus, but then he has no HP. So, I guess that's what you'd have to do. But on a cleaver, there's also taking quick hands and being a whip. So again, I don't think Indomitable works on duelists. As I'd give this duelist I would give the duelist over the two-hander, the orc necklace. And the pushback, who pushes you back? Orc warriors. Who is standing in front of orc warriors? Mammoths, who have Indomitable. This one should, this guy doesn't. I do want him to have it. And two-handers. These dudes, obviously, but I've talked about they don't have. So I think Indomitable is still a great skill. I don't think I would not take it on high-end characters. Even on some early characters, like if you're starting bro from day 4 with like good attack stars, makes it, I would give him Indomitable. I think it's just a good skill to have. It's very survivable, and the stunned and knocked back is just fantastic. Killing Frenzy is good. Someone once nicely said on a Steam forum, haha, imagine having a damage dealer without Berserk and Killing Frenzy. I agree. It just does so much for you. These polearm guys get kills all the time. They should have Killing Frenzy. So I took Headhunter because he has a meme hit head bill hook. I regret that. Killing Frenzy is great. Frontline duelists absolutely need it. Two-handers could maybe get away with not having Killing Frenzy. I took Colossus and Gift from this guy because I'm greedy. But yeah, I think Killing Frenzy is very strong. Duelist is obviously good for a duelist build and bad for anything else. It's good for archer throwing hybrids. Throwing weapons actually give you your duelist bonus. So just be aware of that. Fearsome is probably good on your bannerman and nothing else, except I don't know what. I don't think I would want to do this. Some people have said, "Oh, you use a hammer because a one-handed hammer will always do 10 damage with destroy armor," and you go, "Okay," but now I'm not using a hammer on the bannerman, and if anything, most of my attacks are actually disarms, which do no damage. So I don't think I really want to use fearsome on the bannerman. And maybe there's other fearsome builds out there, like fearsome with a three-handed flail, but I think that only gives you one proc of fearsome. So I'm not a big fan of fearsome right now. Now, I just want to say, I'm not God. As much as I want to think I'm God, I'm not God. And I'm not always right. So I don't want to fucking read people saying, "Oh my god, you don't use fearsome." Like, fuck off. Like, I don't know everything. I can be wrong. My mind can change. Please don't be a dick, because I don't like using footwork on an archer. I, you know, there are definitely ways to use these perks that I'm not aware of. I am not an expert here. I like to think myself as experienced, but I'm not this omniscient being. So please, I want to hear how people use other perks. I want to be wrong sometimes. Not wrong. I don't want to be wrong, but I want to learn. So if you guys could go into the comments and do me a favor and explain to me how you use some of these perks, particularly like fearsome, or reach advantage, or dodge maybe, or crippling strike and executioner. I would like to see, does anyone use that combo? Is that something good? I would like to know about that. How is archer throwing hybrids? I would like to hear things like this. Uh, Gifted in Colossus, what are your and student? I hear some people don't like student. I don't know why, but I would like to hear that reasoning, I guess. But I hope you found this useful. I think perks, there's a lot of combinations you can go through, but if I had to just give you some perks like every character has, like you've probably seen through this. Underdog, Battle Forged, Brawny, Rotate for frontline. Like and Berserk for a frontline. Berserk for anyone, really. Killing Frenzy, on archers you have Bullseye, Anticipation, you have your weapon spec, you have Recover on a lot of people, Nimble. Really a lot of staples here, which is a little sad, but I think they've done a good job with perk diversity in this game. I hope this wasn't too rambly. I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you all around.